First off, I feel I must apologise a little bit because I have a tiny bit of a cold, and hopefully it doesn't impact your viewing pleasure of this video. It started well. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Book Time with Elvis, with me, Mark. And apologies again, my glasses are fogging up here because I've just come in from walking Elvis, and we are really snowed under here. There's a load of snow. I mean, it's up to your shins. Yeah, so I think the change from hot and cold has led to this. But I'm here today with a book haul video. It's been a while. I suppose I did a mini haul on the Christmas vlog because of the In Search of Lost Time series by Marcel Proust that I'll be reading this year. But throughout the months, and it's been a good few months, I have managed to acquire some books along the way, of course, as one does, and I will share them with you. I don't know which order to do them in. Well, I guess I will do the ones people will probably be most interested in, because a lot of people, of course, don't watch these videos all the way through to the end, so I'll be kind and put the ones that probably interest the majority of you first, and then the ones that may not will be towards the end, so you don't have to stick around if you don't want to. So I did manage to get a hold of 3 books by one author, and we read his books. I say we, it was me, Sean D. Standfast, Jim from Mystery and Mayhem, and a few other wonderful people read Dan Simmons's The Terror last year, and it was great. And this year I think we're planning on reading some more of his. One that we'll probably get to this year, at least Sean and I are planning on it, is The Abominable by Dan Simmons, which seems pretty good. It is a Yeti story, I guess. June 1924, on the brutal northeast ridge of Mount Everest, famous adventurers George Mallory and Andrew Irvine vanish into the snow-whipped night. So what's going to happen to them, eh? Ooh, well, I guess we can only imagine. So I think that would be pretty good if The Terror was anything to go by. Now, of course, Sean really loves his is it Hyperion Cantos, but I'm not being a massive science fiction fan, I haven't read it. So there we go. But I think that would be good. And another one by him, which I know that Jim from Mystery Mayhem has just read, is his book Drood, which of course is related to Charles Dickens's last and unfinished novel, The Mystery of Edwin Drood, or The Mysteries of Edwin Drood. You have to forgive me there. So yeah, I guess this could be interesting. Jim certainly said he enjoyed it, and apparently you don't necessarily need to have read the Dickens book, although I imagine it would, probably put it into different contexts, and I will certainly read the Dickens book before I embark on this. And then the final one from Dan Simmons is The Fifth Heart here, and this is a book that may also appear in February, because I'm blown away by how white the pages are. I almost feel I need sunglasses. In February, if you have seen Jim from Mystery Mayhem's announcement video, Holmes is Where the Heart is returning, and it's certainly been mooted that this may well be a candidate for the group read. Now, obviously, it is not by Arthur Conan Doyle, but it does feature, of course, his most famous creation, Sherlock Holmes, as well as the author Henry James. So that could be really interesting. I'll read the back of this one to you. In 1893, Sherlock Holmes and Henry James come to America together to investigate the suicide of Clover Adams, wife of the esteemed historian Henry Adams. Quickly, the investigators deduce that there's more to Clover's death than meets the eye. Holmes is currently on his great hiatus, his 3-year absence after Reichenbach falls, during which time the people of London believe him to be deceased. The disturbed Holmes has faked his own death, and now, as he meets James, is questioning what is real and what is not. Holmes's theories shake James to the core. What can the master storyteller do to fight against the sinister power, possibly Moriarty, that may or may not be controlling them from the shadows and what was Holmes's role in Moriarty's rise. So it does sound, if you're a Holmes fan like me, it does sound very, very good indeed. So, next up, excuse me, I did get a nice book from the British Museum books, which I don't have any other ones. This is the only one I've got, but I got it because of the Ghost of Christmas Past Resurrected event that Vin from Reverend Reads hosted at the end of last year, so in December of 2024, but I didn't get around to reading it, though I will do at some point, I'm sure, this year, and it's called Out of the Past, Tales of Haunting History, edited by Aaron Worth. And so it seems like it will be pretty good. Tale of callous murder and deranged revenge rings out from 15th century Italy. A witchfinder's great triumph is also the herald of his own doom in Civil War Britain. A prisoner's fate at the hands of the Inquisition in 16th century Mexico leads to an encounter with the bestial and bizarre beneath the waves. Summoning 11 stories chosen for their uncanny portrayals of weird history, this collection presents a dark timeline of grim visions harking from plague-racked England to revolutionary France, and culminating in the last gasps of the 19th century, including stories by the greatest writers of history turned horrifying, such as Marjorie Bowen, Frederick Cowles, Vernon Lee, and the lost genius Vincent O'Sullivan. This volume is capped by two of Aaron West's own tales of Victorian macabre, alongside a chiller evoking M.R. James by Sheila Hodgson, the adapter of his stories for radio. So, looks like that would be pretty good. Next up, we have 3 volumes of a very famous series, and perhaps there may well be a reason why I've had to acquire these books, but you'll have to keep watching throughout the weeks to find out. But the first one is Volume 1 of the 1001 Arabian Nights, and then you probably guessed the next one is Volume 2 of the 1001 Nights, 1001, the Arabian Nights. Sorry. Oh, I hate this season. The Arabian Nights, Tales of 1001 Nights, Volume 2. And then Arabian Nights, 1001 Arabian Nights, whatever it is, Volume 3. So, yeah, watch this space, perhaps. And then finally, the books that probably will be of least interest to the most people. I'm going very nautical here. So, and they will be for Historathon, another event started by Vin from Reverend Reads, of which I am a co-host. And it's going to be, for me, quite a nautical year with regards to Historathon. So I'm looking forward to that. First up, we have, which will fit in to the second quarter of Historathon quite comfortably, The Safeguard of the Sea, a Naval History of Britain, 660 to 1649. It is the first volume in N.A.M. Rogers' magnum opus, or big work on the history of the Royal Navy. So I shall get to that one, and I'm really looking forward to it. The second one is The Command of the Ocean, a naval history of Britain, 1649 to 1815. And of course, this will include all the Napoleonic wars, which will be very exciting, of course. And then the third volume, I don't have yet because it just came out at the end of last year. It's still in hardback, and I didn't see the point in springing for the hardback when I've got 2 paperbacks already of that. So, I'm very much looking forward to getting to them. And then sticking with N.A.M. Roger, I have his book, The Wooden World, which is, as it says there, an anatomy of the Georgian Navy. So it's all about how the Navy in and around the time of Nelson and before and after ran. So that will be very interesting. And from people I know who've read it, this book is fantastic. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And as many of you may be aware, I'm currently trudging my way through, although I'm thoroughly enjoying it, John Sugden's 2-volume biography of Admiral the Lord Nelson, and another book that was recommended to me about him, which seems pretty good and actually mercifully much shorter, is this book here by Andrew Lambert, and it's Britannia's, or Nelson, Britannia's God of War. And that, of course, comes from a phrase attributed about Lord Nelson from the fantastic poet. See, I'll get there. Lord Byron. So, yeah, I think this will be great. I mean, Nelson, from what I read about him in Sugden's autobiography, is a fascinating character, really. And I think this will be a really good companion, probably, to those two books. So there we have it. That is my book haul of books I've acquired over the last few months, and the last month as well. And let me know in the comments below if you've read any of them. Also, let me know if you received any interesting books for Christmas or recently. And yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. Sorry, as I say, I'm not feeling particularly great, so I am rambling away, but I wanted to make this video. So do take care, everybody. Have a fantastic week, and I shall see you all again very soon, I'm sure. All the best. Take care. Bye-bye.